My name is Misha Jones, and you're tuned into season 1 of Cease and Assist, episode 7, where I'm not talking law, I'm talking basketball. And here, women's basketball comes first. Now, I'm joined today with Coach Ronny Fisher from Campbell women's basketball. And Campbell was projected as a 15 seed going into the women's NCAA tournament until everything was canceled, the season was shut down. And this is part of the ongoing trend I'm having, where I'm going to sit down with coaches from some of the 14, 15, and 16 seed teams that were supposed to play in the tournament and had their hopes crushed as well as the rest of the country. So, Coach, thank you for joining me. How you doing today? I really hope that, you're safe, you're healthy, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing great, Misha. Thank you for having me.
So if you haven't followed the Camels this year, here's a little bit of a crash course. They went 21-8. As I mentioned, they were projected as a 15 seed into the NCAA tournament in the Greenville region. They won the Big South regular season title and therefore were awarded their conference's automatic bid once the conference championship was canceled. So, Coach, what else should folks know about the season that your team had?
Well, first of all, Campbell University in general is just an amazing school, and I'm so blessed to coach here. We have amazing leadership from our president to our athletic director, and it's just a great environment to learn in. The people are amazing, and I think we've got great support from our administration in women's basketball. A beautiful place to play, and it's a neat place and a great league, and just feel like we're really getting better, and hopefully going to continue to do that, and just blessed to coach here.
So from your point of view, I mean, as I said, you went 21-8. And for a mid-major program, that kind of, shakes the table a little bit. So from your point of view, what was it that clicked this season that made it so special?
Yeah, I think it starts with just our players in general and our assistant coaches. And our team motto this year was sweat and serve. And it's really simple. And I've got a simple mind. I'm not very smart. We wanted to sweat and outwork our opponents, and we wanted to serve each other. And we really kept it simple, and our players bought into that. And I thought we did an excellent job of it. And I love winning, and we've had a couple good years back to back. But more importantly, the journey was amazing with our student athletes, and they're just awesome people to be around. And finished my 29th year of coaching, so some years you end with a really good vibe, and other years the vibe is not that great. This year it was a great vibe. And it's because of the kids we had and their commitment to our program and their commitment to each other. It was special.
So what was your favorite moment from this year? As you said, you tried to keep it simple, but I'm sure there were those moments that kind of stood out for you as a coach.
Well, I think probably my favorite moment is winning the championship, the regular season championship on our home court. And we had two seniors that were amazing. Both had played through multiple surgeries and just persevered their whole careers, and for them to hold that trophy up at midcourt and get to celebrate it on our home court, that's our first Big South championship in quite a while, and it was an amazing experience, and it was a great end to what we had put in and accomplished. And we were hoping to play in the postseason, but that's okay. I was really appreciative of that opportunity and the chance for them to do that.
And tell me a little bit about those seniors. I mean, I looked at some of your statistics, and it didn't seem like points and scoring-wise anybody was really, just doing it all by themselves. It seemed like a pretty balanced scoring stats for the roster. So tell me a little bit about what made those seniors be able to carry this team this year.
Yeah, that's a great question. Haley Barber is a senior, and she's been in the program 4 years. Her freshman year, she came and she had an okay freshman year. She tore ACL in the last game of the year, we're in the WBI, and watching her get through that injury and come back, and how she improved from her freshman year to her senior year is amazing. After her freshman year, I didn't imagine that she would be an all-conference player, and after her senior year, she's one of the best players in our league. She led us in so many different categories other than scoring, so she was just an amazing toughness and amazing person. And then Kiana Spate was the other in our program, and she's actually the first fifth-year transfer I've taken. And she was only here 1 year. She came from Davidson, and an amazing person as well, great student. And she brought a toughness and just a demeanor to our team that we didn't have. And amazing team-first person. That she didn't care if she scored or not, but she set a record for threes in a year for our team. And those two just embodied what we're all about. I know it sounds simple again and cliche, but they sweated and they served. And that's what we believe in leadership. We believe in servant leadership. And they embodied that, and they set the tone for our whole team. And like you mentioned, I'm big on being unselfish, and I like unselfish basketball. And we had 5 girls that averaged, I think, or 4 girls that averaged over 8.5, 9 points a game, but nobody averaged double figures. Right. And that's kind of who we are. It's kind of crazy. We've had 2 years in a row where we've won, I guess, a total of 44 games, and we haven't had anybody averaging double figures. Wow. And that sounds bad in one sense. Next year we need somebody getting up there, but at the same time, it's a team first attitude, and I think you see that on the defensive end too.
I mean, from all that you're telling me and from all that I saw, you got a tight-knit group, because there's not many groups out there who can do what you all did this year without having, somebody be a breakout star or somebody shoulder most of the load. To really have an entire team focused and driven on the same goal and buy into that servant leadership, as you mentioned. It's to use the word again, it's very special. But so let's take a turn here and walk me through the moment you found out that the NCAA tournament was going to be canceled, and how you told your team.
Yeah, it was a very weird situation. We had won the regular season championship, so we were going to be able to host our conference tournament as long as we won. We could have played for a championship a couple Sundays ago had we advanced, and felt really good about that. And we were actually on the court. We had a 55-minute workout the day of our Thursday game, and we were on the court preparing for Presbyterian College in our league. And halfway through the workout, our associate commissioner came in and told me the news that the tournament was canceled. And so it was the most abrupt ending. You're literally on the court practicing, and then I say, okay, guys, let's go in the locker room. And we just spent about an hour in the locker room talking, and it happened so fast. At the time, we didn't know the NCAA tournament was going to be canceled, but I thought it probably would. So we kind of talked to that point. And, I did feel bad, especially for Haley and Kiana, and that their career was most likely finished. But there was also a sense that our country was struggling. And you're watching other teams that have players test positive, whether it be the NBA or different leagues. And part of me is the parent in me that didn't want to put my players at risk of getting the virus either. And so although we hated it for our team, we understood, and we talked about that. It was tough. At the same time, I always believe I'm focusing on the positive. We were able to play a complete season, win a championship, an amazing run when you have spring sports that weren't even able to complete half their regular season. So I look at it that we were blessed to have the journey we were on, and I wish we would have had that opportunity in the postseason, but I'm very appreciative of what we did have.
Yeah, and we talked about it a little bit before recording, but it seems like for mid-major teams to make the tournament, for not only to make the tournament, but to win your conference championship regular season title, everything just has to come together just perfectly, it seems. So how do you think the cancellation affects your team as opposed to, the bigger name programs like the South Carolinas and the Oregons that seem to be in the tournament almost every year? Yeah,
it's totally different. And I haven't ever coached in the NCAA tournament, and that's a personal goal of mine as well. And at the beginning of the year, we talked about that as a team. And my first practice, right before our first practice, we walked in the locker room, and Haley, I found out it was Haley, she had drawn a ring on the board. And our players were determined we're going to get a ring and we're going to play in that NCAA tournament. And to see that as a possibility, a very good possibility, and not be able to do it, it obviously hurts. And but at the same time, though, there are bigger things in life, and we get that, but it does hurt. And the great thing about it, except for Haley and Kiana, we'll have another chance to get after it next year and hopefully get to the tournament, and we're looking forward to it. But it's tough. But you just have to deal with it. That's life, and we talk about that a lot. Adversity sets in, and how you respond to it, it defines you. And we're not gonna sit and mope that we didn't make the tournament. I hate we didn't, but we're gonna appreciate what we had and live the next day and move forward in a positive manner.
So speaking of moving forward and living the next day, how are you personally dealing with the COVID-19 crisis?
Yeah, it's amazing, just watching the news and seeing how families are affected and people are dying daily, and to watch, what's happening in some of the very tough areas like New York and Los Angeles. And we have some cases in our area, but it's nothing like they're experiencing. And, I have 3 kids of my own. My wife and I have been married 26 years, and we have everybody in our household right now, and they're all at home, going a little stir crazy. My 2 in college are, but we're all healthy and we're blessed. And our focus now is to see how that we can help somebody else and maybe serve someone in our community that's struggling or elderly. And we're trying to look for ways to help somebody else and get the focus off of ourselves.
Well, Coach, I'm wishing you and your family all the health and safety during this time. And thank you again for joining me on Cease and Assist. And you all who are watching can follow Coach Fisher on Twitter at rfishercu, and you can follow me on Twitter at MISHTheJRNALIST. Stay tuned for more Cease and Assist. I'll be posting all these videos on my YouTube channel, and I'll have more for you all soon. Until then, take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Misha.